Annie, would you please do us the favor of providing roll call?
Sure. I have myself, Annie Cathy, Allison Franz, Ann Hughes, Brian Chazar, Cindy Farr, David Strohmeyer, Aaron Couts, Jamar Galbraith, John Hart, Juanita Vero, Kyla Lennertz, Melissa Fisher, Sarah Bell, Chantel Gaynor. We have MCAT and Ryan Salisbury. Did I miss anybody out there? Okay, Dave, I'll let you take it away.
Okay, thanks, Annie. Is there any public comment on items not on today's agenda? Any announcements? Seeing none, let's dive right into the agenda. The first one I'm very excited about. This relates to our application on behalf of the Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority for an EDA Build Back Better grant. Aaron, would you like to describe to us what is before us today?
Sure. This is Aaron Couts with Community and Planning Services, and we are requesting that the board sign a professional services agreement with KLJ Engineering LLC to prepare some procurement materials in preparation of hopefully a successful Economic Development Administration Build Back Better grant award on behalf of Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority. And what they would be doing is preparing 3 different procurement documents. I know we talked about this earlier this week, but that would be a regional economic competitiveness officer, which is a requirement of the grant award. It's essentially a program manager, a socioeconomic analysis, and a preliminary route alternatives analysis. And just as a reminder, why we're doing this before notice of the grant award is because of the very short timeline of the grant, the phase 1 of the grant cycle. So we just want to hit the ground running as soon as award notifications are done on hopefully December 8th.
Oh,
Yes.
Exciting. I didn't know what the date was. I knew it was sometime in December. Okay.
Well, hopefully December. They said December 8th, but they, as we mentioned previously, I think they did receive 527 grant applications for 50 to 60 awards. So they're going to have a busy November.
No.
And the phase 1 grant that we threw our hat in the ring for was for $500,000, and we basically have 3 months to expend that entire amount of money, so we can nary afford to spend a month in the procurement process later. So any actual granting of contracts to the individuals who will come out of the procurement process will be predicated on actually getting the phase 1 grant.
Yeah.
Any
Thanks
questions?
for clarifying that, Dave.
Questions, Juanita?
Nope. I'm fingers crossed and excited. So I move that we sign the PSA with KLJ Engineering.
I'll second that. Any further discussion or public comment on the motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Aaron, you're off to the races.
All right. Thanks so much. Take care.
Okay, thank you. All right, John Hart, please bring us up to speed on Ponderosa Heights.
Good morning, Commissioners. Yeah, this is John Hart from the County Attorney's Office, and I'm sure you're equally as excited about this item as the last one, because this is a subdivision improvements agreement and guarantee for a subdivision in Lolo. This is the Ponderosa Heights subdivision, and the developer is ready to bring on phase 4 of that subdivision for final plat. For those who aren't aware of where this subdivision is, it's really a well-designed subdivision above the Lolo Peak Brewery up on the hill, and again, this is a very nice subdivision, and I think there's more phases coming. But with this subdivision, they've installed all of the required infrastructure, including the subdivision road, but they need to chip seal the road next spring. They need to give that new asphalt a little bit of time before they chip seal it. So they are guaranteeing the chip sealing which has an estimated cost of about $37,000, then adding in some engineering fees and a 25% contingency, makes the estimated probable cost of the chip seal $48,860.44. The developer is promising to have that chip sealing done by July 31st of 2022 and has guaranteed that promise with a letter of credit from Trail West Bank in the amount of $48,860.44, and that letter of credit is good through August 31st of 2022, so a little bit, about a month longer than the completion date, which gives the county a little extra cushion. I've reviewed this subdivision agreement. I've talked to the developer about it. Brent O'Connor at Public Works has approved of the estimate of probable costs, and it's my recommendation to the commission that you enter into this this agreement at Ponderosa Heights Phase 4. Do you have any questions about this?
Thanks, John. Before we do that, is Ryan here for this item?
I don't think so.
Well, I thought
Can you hold on just a second, Bailey? Hey, Commissioner Strohmeyer, I'm sorry. I'm on the phone with Bailey. I thought we had an item on the agenda, but no, this is not. I thought West Point was going to be here.
I think, John, can you quickly speak to that? I think we pulled that from the agenda today. Is that correct?
Yes, we did. Sorry about that, Ryan. We did pull that improvements agreement for various reasons.
And this,
Yes. Thank you, John.
So Bailey, if you're on the phone with Ryan, if you're on the phone with Bailey, she can probably fill you in on the details and next steps there.
Yeah, this was scheduled to be a doubly exciting day because we had two improvements agreements on the agenda, but we needed to pull the one for West Point. So
And if I'm not mistaken, we will also be delaying action on West Point, or contemplating delaying action this afternoon.
Yes, that's our understanding, and the neighbors have been updated, Bailey told me as well.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Sorry, we did not get the word to you, Ryan, for this morning. So
Thank you.
Who would not want to be at this meeting on a Thursday morning? So, anyway, very good. Any questions, Juanita, for?
yeah, so I'm just confused. Is this the only improvement that's left to be done? This chip sealing, or are there other improvements that?
nope, this is the last of the improvements, the improvements that were a condition of filing the final plat.
Okay. Great. I move that the board approve the subdivision improvements agreement and guarantee for Ponderosa Heights Phase 4.
I will second that. Further discussion or public comment on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. John, you have become quite renowned for your expertise with subdivision improvements agreements. So thank you for your help.
Yes, it's an area of expertise I never thought I would develop, but thank you. I appreciate those kind words. We'll see you this afternoon.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Next, Cindy or Brian, do you want to talk to us about item number 3?
Yeah, so this is the CDBG grant that we got an extension for, and you guys actually signed it. Geez, it must have been about a month or a month and a half ago. And then we had to bring it back to you because there was a change in the date that we needed to use those funds by.
Okay, that sounds pretty straightforward. Any questions, Juanita?
No, I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
It's the request to authorize the chair to sign an amendment to the CARES Act block grant award agreement.
Okay, and it's just the compensation increases. I didn't realize. Okay, but it's a date issue, not.
Yeah, when we brought it to you before, it was for the increased funding amount, and then we had you sign it, but then they ended up changing the date on it. So now we have to have you re-sign it.
Sorry, I just need to scroll down a little farther. Got it. Okay, I move that the board approves Strohmeyer to sign the amendment.
We'll second that. Any further discussion or comment? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye. Thanks, Cindy.
And the next item is yours, Cindy, also.
Yeah, so this is the fourth amendment to our public health emergency preparedness grant. And this one is to provide $130,000 for 2 years of funding for a public information officer position.
Great. When would this person start?
As soon as I get the job description through the union and get it recruited. Right now, it's already in the process.
No, Cindy, there's no one filling this role right now.
No, we have a temporary public information officer that will likely be applying for this position, but as this is new funding, then we have to go through all of the process of creating the job description and getting it through the union, and then going through the full HR recruitment process.
Okay, what sort of things will this person be tasked with?
So this is basically making sure that all of the public information, particularly for COVID, but we're also wanting to have a public information officer dedicated to other health department programs as well. So they'll be responsible for maintaining our Facebook page, our Twitter, our Instagram, our sending out all of our press releases, coordinating any kind of interviews. It's basically all of the general things that a public information officer does.
Great, thanks.
I move that the chair, Strohmeyer, sign the amendment for to task order 20-7-6-11-0360.
I will second that. Any further discussion or comment on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye. Here's
Okay,
the information.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. And rounding things out for today, Chantel, you have item number 5.
Good morning. Nice to see you. We have a contract with Probation Parole. This is part of the Safety and Justice Challenge grant funding and one of the strategies that had been developed last year. It has taken some time to get the contract together between county and state, but we're ready to proceed. And this will fund a duly licensed social worker who works at Probation Parole, who will help with assessment of probationers and help get them into appropriate services. And all of this is part of the overall effort to safely reduce jail population. Just for some context, in the fourth quarter of 2020, there were 47 admissions to detention, which were based on probation violations, parole violations, or revocations. And so the idea is that with more supportive services, folks will be more successful in the community and not and lower this overall number, which then lowers the overall length of stay, and all of we'll see trends in the right direction is the hope.
Wait, and you said duly, what was the term you used? Duly licensed, what does that mean?
Yeah, so it's somebody who has a license to provide counseling services. So like a clinical social worker, but also can provide drug and alcohol support and treatment. So they're somewhat different licenses, and folks who hold both do both. Got it.
Okay, and so help me. So I'm on an example. So I'm on parole.
Yeah.
And my probation officer does what to help me stay out of jail.
So probation officers are oftentimes focused on compliance and are making sure you're going to your job, you're paying your bills, that sort of thing. But you will probably also have conditions as part of your being out, like don't commit more crimes, stay away from drugs and alcohol. It could be a variety of things. Oftentimes where folks, we see folks who are struggling are where they have perhaps a behavioral health issue that could include a substance use disorder or a mental health, untreated mental health issue, or intermittently treated mental health issue. And then also there are folks who, you're caught in a cycle, and some might be, you've got a number of barriers to work through. So it could be you've got a suspended driver's license and you're struggling being able to get yourself to work in a way that's legal because of that suspended driver's license. But getting your suspended driver's license taken care of is a big bureaucratic process. And you're stuck in the churn of like, well, I go to work, I need to maybe think about my second job. I can't get to the DMV during their business hours. And so having supportive services or somebody who can help walk you through these things and help just get the barriers, the low hanging fruit out of the way. And so getting your license back, making sure that your treatment is effective, making sure that, if you're assigned to counseling, that you're successfully getting there. So it's really about, instead of just compliance, it's also support.
Yeah. Okay. So this person is assigned to me, or is this
this person would have a caseload that, yeah, you could be assigned to that person. But the other thing that this person will be doing is helping support the officers themselves in being able to understand different options and resources. So they will be embedded in a system where they can also provide just more knowledge and skills and perhaps options to the officers as well.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to walk me through all that.
Oh, of course.
I move that the board approve the MOU between Missoula County and Montana Department of Corrections, Probation, and Parole Division.
I will second that. Further discussion or public comment on the motion? See none. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Chantel.
Thank you.
And believe it or not, that is our agenda for today. Is there anything else that anyone needs to bring up or mention?
18 minutes. Well done, Dave.
Wow. We got bogged down there a time or two, but we kept moving. Okay, well, thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of the week. Goodbye.